So now we're going to get into the video that I have with Professor Griff. And Professor Griff is going to go into detail about some of the agendas as far as targeting rappers or targeting certain people with um, homosexuality and the people that's actually behind that. And after you obtain a certain level of intellectual maturity, you tend to not feed into certain things. So this is what we have to get to as a people, a certain level of intellectual maturity, to the point where homosexuality doesn't bother me. Race doesn't bother me. Speaking about race or somebody saying a certain word, it shouldn't affect you. But these are things that a certain group of people would want you to feed into or to cause division and separatism. This is the way that you keep a people down. You keep a people downtrodden by keeping them apart, because it's stated that a kingdom or a nation divided cannot stand. So in order for you to be stronger together, you would have to stand together. But as long as you don't stand together, you cannot be a unit. And any unit that can't stand would always need a crutch. So this is the reason why there's always going to be a necessity for governance. If you can't stand, you're going to need something to stand to hold you up. So this is the reason why that's being stated, that has been stated, that it is a known fact that anything that cannot stand, anything separated cannot stand. It can't. So their whole plight is to cause separatism. But once you have a sound mind, you're in control. So the thing is to keep you from having a sound mind. But like I said, me, homosexuality doesn't bother me. Race doesn't bother me. Caucasian people doesn't bother me. So the views that he might have, these may be truths, and to certain people it may affect them. But to me, it really doesn't. But it's the God honest truth, because he's giving you facts as opposed to his own speculation or some of the things that he might feel. But it's indicated. And not only that, but I also have other rappers that that I'm going to show you that's actually a part of that you never knew, and they're in certain gangs that's a part of separatism or division, and they've also been used to promote homosexuality. So this isn't something that it's I don't even know what conspiracy theory is. So for me, I don't. There's a lot of things that I don't know about. Certain things that people do, like with sports. I don't know about sports. I don't know about certain entertainers. I don't know who Kyrie Irving is. I don't know who Kevin Samuels is. I don't know. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to. Oh, everybody's talking about him. Let me go find out who he is. I don't know who this person is. I don't know who Juice World is. I don't know a lot of these people. So when you stay outside of a world, you're only subjected to the certain things that you might stumble across, or that some things may be shown to you. But he's going into details about certain things that he as far as like Quincy Jones and Puff Daddy as well. So you're going to hear him speak about those two individuals in particular, and he's going to speak about homosexuality, which I'm not anti-homosexual. I'm not anti, anything. I always allow people to get it on their own, to evolve or either devolve, because people's going to be people, and that's what we have to understand about, what we call humanity. That people is going to be people until people stop being people and start being people. If you understand how that goes, but that's just how it goes. So let's get into the video.
I did, I put a research team together to try to find the information on the first chapter of the book. Now, the first chapter was originally supposed to be the original interview that got me thrown out of Public Enemy. And the original interview that I did with David Mills, who's a big-time Hollywood writer right now, because he was the same brother that did the interview with Sister Soldier, that got Sister Soldier in trouble when she quoted Dr. Bobby E. Wright, the psychopathic racist personality, when he said the only reason why blacks kill blacks because we haven't been taught to kill whites. So when Sister Soldier said that, Bill Clinton came after her, and y'all already know that story.
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, I put a research team together to find the original interview that got me thrown out of Public Enemy, and guess what? I put 2 research teams together. Can't even find the interview. And I defy anyone here to find it. These Jews got together and how they control the media, which stands for multi-ethnic destruction in America, or maniac European devils in action. They went around the globe to all their newswire services and extracted that particular interview out from the public's view. You can't even find it. And if anyone can find it, call me. I think the thing that raised some eyebrows with people is when I dropped the information about Quincy Jones. I let the chips fall wherever they fall.
That's right.
This dude was one of the ones responsible. He had a magazine financed by Warner Brothers and the rest of them. He set up sex rings in Hollywood. And the people that he brought in, if y'all tell me if I'm lying, Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince.
Yes, he did.
And his first movie was what? 6 Degrees of Separation. Brought in Queen Latifah.
Set it off.
Queen Latifah set it off, licking and kissing on women. Are you following me?
Yes.
Tevin Campbell. His little sweet ass up and down Hollywood Boulevard.
Got caught in the park.
Thank you. And last but not least, when Tupac came to Hollywood, it was the homosexual ritual. This is where the homosexuals came out against it, but I didn't mind. I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies. And it is. So when I mentioned that about it marrying itself on to hip-hop, they said, well, can you prove it? Yeah. Go back and go online and read where Tupac said he was asked by Quincy Jones to in the ass. When Tupac said no, that's when Tupac was marked for death. Why? Because Tupac was engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter. Quincy Jones's daughter was best friend was Aaliyah. Aaliyah was engaged to Dame Dash. Now, if y'all follow these people back, all of them either died or was brought to ruin. Who creates and manufacture these trends? Brothers of Sagging, which y'all know is nigga spelled backwards, right? And what they did was marry the criminal culture in jail onto the street culture and made it part of hip-hop. So now, homosexuality is on the rise, and they made the new cleavage became the butt crack.
Homosexual mom.
Are you following me? Not be stupid. There's 15, 20 of us in this room. Somebody in here is the agent. Don't start looking around. But somebody in here is just in here that's going to take this information to the government. And we can't be stupid.
Every word.
Everywhere we go,
Coin-telephone.
is that one person that's in the audience that's going to take that information back. And we got to know and understand that's just a reality. Until we set up an infrastructure to deal with their ass, they're going to be here.
That's right.
Are you following me? So we have to do that. It's in hip-hop also. The brother that was part of the hip-hop cop task force, he admitted going past belief.
Okay.
They had designed that particular experiment to shift the plates up under Iran at the behest of the Mossad in Israel. The Mossad is like the CIA in America.
That's right.
Like the MI5 and MI6 in Britain and in England.
Okay.
All right. So they was experimenting with the Heart Project
Okay.
to move one of the tectonic plates that's under Iran. So that devastation that you've seen in Haiti can happen in Iran. You can easily dispute what I say, but when it's in black and white, it's hard to refute this. Are you following me? It took him 12 years to write this book. He gave me the original. They mentioned it in the DVD about the hip-hop car, and they said that if rappers didn't shoot one another up, somebody didn't get raped, or somebody didn't get robbed, they would provide an incident for something to go down because they were setting hip-hop up for destruction. Now, this homo dude, hold that, what's his name? Puffy P. Diddy, whatever he called himself this week.
He did it. That's right.
He was one of the ones that orchestrated some of these things. Now listen, there was a gentleman that he hooked up with, a fashion designer, a gay fashion designer, who put the implantable biomicrochip inside of the tag on the jeans. And what they did was they put a medium tag on a large jeans. So when the brothers went to go buy the clothes, they would sag and they'd naturally be big. So then when the information came out on how they were tracking the rappers in every city via your cell phone and via the implantable biomicrochip.
Okay.
So what they did was they put a dossier together 500 pages thick. It's in a D. You have the DVD rap sheets?
Nah, that's out. I had it though.
Inside of the DVD rap sheets, the white boy, he wrote a letter and made a couple of phone calls and emailed the Miami Police Department and the New York Police Department, and they sent the dossier to the white boy. He put it in a book and took a camera to follow him around, and he went to all of the rappers that were in the book, and he talked to them about that, and they were shocked. When the shit go down, snatch it, and let's go meet somewhere and defend ourselves. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yes.
That's what we need. We need a contingency plan. They got one.
That's right. Absolutely.
I go to these little white boy preparedness meetings and gun shows and shit. They ready. Buying cases and cases of bullets. For what? Did you see on the internet where they had thousands and thousands of coffins in Georgia?
What?
In South Georgia?
What?
Already ready.
Whoa.
So it's going down. Are you following me? So we have to understand this particular dynamic, man. I love y'all to life.
Love you
I'm glad
too.
y'all came out.
Yes, sir.
Purchase the book. The information
Yes, sir.
is definitely in here. Support the brother. Love y'all to death.
Love you
Love
too.
y'all to life,
Love
man.
you too.
All right, peace.
So, as we see now, there's not only a ritual, but a homosexual ritual that's being carried out in the hip hop or the entertainment industry. We have Young Thug, and when he came out wearing dresses, and this was to put people's mind in a state of disagreement with his actions. Why would they want to go and make people disagree with somebody for wearing dresses or purposely misleading people by being homosexual? Comes to find out he's he's a gang member and he's in the blood. But what people do not know is that he's actually a Mason.
I'm tall. The people say I look small on videos. I'm tall. Covered in tats. I'm 5. People know that. I'm an organ donor. I'm a Mason. I beat all my cases.
These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. Why would the Freemasons or Masonry be behind the homosexual agenda and the music and the entertainment industry? Because you had Young Thug, you've seen his video where he gave you 5 facts about him, and he proclaimed to be a Freemason. He said he's a Mason. And then you have Professor Griff, and Professor Griff, he states that there's a homosexual ritual in the Illuminati, the secret societies, and he was adamant about his stance on that information. He said it is. So what would be, that's another thing about it. A lot of people that give information pertaining to like the Illuminatis, they still allude, or they'll pinpoint, or they'll point at them, but they will not say who they actually are. And that's who it is. And I'm going to retract my my stance on Kanye West. I thought that he was trying to help people by giving that information, but it's been brought to my attention that they would use their own kind to throw dirt on them, as opposed to someone that's completely not associated with them. Like me, I'm not associated with them at all. I wouldn't be associated with anything from, gang to a religion to a cult. I would not, align myself with any of that. Being that you're what you call righteous. That's what a righteous person is. A righteous person is, one that corrects himself, and would not allow himself to join anything. If I joined something and found out that it was something wrong with it, I would have to rectify that within myself and separate. I would have to deviate from it as being a righteous person. This is why I say the righteous cannot take an oath of silence and secrecy, because there might be some things inside of it that's just not right. And as a righteous person, you cannot accept it. You just can't. That would make you not righteous. So we're going to get into detail about what it means to be righteous soon, but that's normally what righteousness consists of. Autocorrect is righteous. Like when you about to make a mistake and it rectifies itself in the middle of that action, that's what you would call righteous. One that's automatically corrects himself. That's what right is, correct. And right, us, the EOUS, that is the nature. That means the nature of correct. That means that's what that means. So you have the nature of correctness inside of you. You don't need anything else outside of you to correct you. So the righteous would never allow themselves to join any kind of gang. I was in a gang before, but being that you are a righteous being, you have to separate yourself from that gang. And you can't even join religions, because some religions are against righteousness. It's against you having your own thought. It's against you having your own sound mind. The doctrine that's inside of these religions are what you are actually. You can't think outside of those doctrines. Anything outside, a free thinker can never be a religious person, and a religious person can never be a free thinker, because they give you a system of thought and ideas that you have to live and abide by. So I couldn't join anything. I couldn't. And that's a part of being what you would call righteous. And on that note, I would never be looked at from their perspective as somebody that they would want to give you that type of information. So they would use their own kind, because even though he's giving you that information, he's still under their control. This is why he said, you can't control me. He can control them. He can control Shaq. They can control, but that's still under their control. They control both sides. They control this side. You agree with that side? No, okay. You agree with that side. I control both of them. You agree with that side? I control that too. You agree with that? I control that. So, Kanye West stated what he stated, but there was no sort of investigations. There was no sort of people, hey, we want justice for such as. There was none of that. It's basically went on deaf ears, and he's still going about his day-to-day life. And not only that, but he's more in the spotlight more. It's like what Gene Deal said. He said he's seen these kids come in and they want to be in every picture. That means that they just want to be a part of any and everything. So it doesn't matter what they're used for, because as long as the spotlight is on them, they don't care. Good publicity, bad publicity, who cares? As long as it's on me, I just want it. I want it all. But you have to understand one thing about it, because he's, you know what he stated, and the only person that could do that is you. You're the only person that could give up your family. You're the only person that could. That's the only person that can do that. So, you have to be careful about how you say things, because some people might take it a different way. Like, yeah, they did this. You did that. You did that to get there. So yeah, I retract, my stance on that, because now I'm seeing more and more and more stuff, and it's just getting more creepier and creepier and creepier. and weirder. So, yeah, this is gonna be my part 2 of Masonry, the Matrix, mystery, and in plain sight. It's right there in plain sight. Young Thug, who has a huge case right now, he proclaimed that, you know, he's in that, and that's what it is. You seeing how they was using him to promote homosexuality, and yeah. So we're gonna get into part 3 because I still haven't forgotten. You know, I moved from my last location, but we're going to get into who the elite actually are. You know, who the elite actually are, and it's not the people that you would think is the elite, because the elite are maybe the elite. These are sinners, you know, and the people want to be like the elite, and they want to be sinners, and we have to understand what sin is, and by that you're going to get into a whole different topic on the whole righteousness and who needs healing, and you're going to find out who actually needs healing, and who could save these people, and who should all. We're going to get into all that, but yeah, that's part 2 of that. And you know, I held on to it for a while because I was going through a transitional phase out here. You know, a lot of things transpired. I had to move from my last location that I was at, and my mother's husband passed away. You know, the one that, you know, I spoke about a few times. He had passed away, and it's just been a lot that's been going on. But you know, that's life, and you know, we live life on life terms, and we don't let life outlive us. We just continue to live life, and you know, stay focused on what it is that we need to do. So, yeah.